Hey guys, welcome to the Step Outside YouTube channel. If you want to see catches like this, stick around, like and subscribe. Here's what's coming up.
G'day team, hope you're having a fantastic start to your day. I'll tell you what, wherever you are fishing around the country, you're going to have something such as these behind you. Port starboard markers, channel markers, whatever you want to call them. But what they do offer is a great variety of fish found around them. Now, if you're in a bay where there's a lot of sand, of course, that structure is going to attract a food chain. Yep, you get your cungy on it, you'll get your crustaceans, of course, the bait fish, then the bigger fish turn up, etc. So today, we're going to be running a smaller bait jig. In this case, it's going to be a vibe. I'm going to drop that around the pylons and go in search of a variety of fish. Come on the journey and see how we go. Beauty about using these jigs around these pylons is you just don't know what you're going to catch. In this case, well, nothing big, but a little big-eyed trevally. And the jigs that we are running there are very lifelike, and of course that's just going to do justice for us when we are dropping them down into these areas. So we'll just get him out and unhooked. You get another jig down there and fingers crossed we catch another different species. This one's nailed it a bit more. Whoa, look at that. What a cracker, that's a tailor. From trevally to tailor. How cool. How cool is that? You know, you just don't know what you're going to catch, and that's the beauty of doing this sort of stuff, is that if you can get over here and fish those pylons wherever you are, you're going to do well. And these little bait fish profile vibes are exactly what we're after. And these fish are after them as well. Now, I do have a variety of these in my box, which we'll get into shortly, but for now, we'll get this one undone. Nice little chopper. You might be worried about having tailor with chompy teeth. Have a look at the nuggins on that thing. So you've got your teeth on it there. That when these actually do hit soft plastics, of course, what generally happens is that the plastic will get bitten off or bitten in half. Of course, they're not too cheap, but these are very, very well made. So generally when the tailor bites, that tailor is going to flick, or the tail will flick out of his mouth. Therefore, you're going to allow a better hook up with the hooks hanging down behind the tail of that lure. As you can see, it is further back. Nice tailor. Happy camper. So the gear I'm running here, and what you should try running if you are going to vibe the pylons in the estuaries, is something that's light, nothing too heavy, because you want to have the fun attached with it. So I'm running the Nasci rod here, and this rod is a 1 to 4 kilo. You can go 2 to 5 kilo if you like. The reel is a Nasci 2500 HG, and of course that means high gearing. It's going to have a little bit of retrieve on there as well. I am using the Garmin. This is the, I'll just turn him around. This is the 24 volt electric engine. So I can then just move around in different areas and places, of course. That's going to allow me to sneak on up to these particular fish, which is what I really want to do as well. So the gear there, we've gone through the rod, the reel, the leader is 12-pound fluorocarbon, and I've got 15-pound Power Pro braid. Now let's have a look at the lure. Now I know the bait fish at the moment are this size. I know they look like this. Therefore the fish are going to go for this. It doesn't look foreign, does it? It's a soft plastic, it's a vibe. It's got a couple of trebles on it, and the weight is probably around 10, 12 grams. Have a look at that. Absolutely stunning. So I'm just going to put the leader through the actual split ring here and the uni knot, bring that up. I'm just going to, simple uni knot, so we're going to do our loop here. I know it's hard to see with my big fingers. We're going to have our tag running around that loop about 5 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if I pull that tight, not too tight though, you can see it tightening up. I'm just going to wet it. Now I just pull it down. Now the way you tighten this is you don't pull the main line, you actually pull the tag end, okay? There it is, nice and tight little loop. I want that down a bit tighter. There you have it. So once we trim that up, keep the tag end, put it in the bin, you've got a nice little loop there attached to the split ring. So I've just moved to another pylon. The reason being is that the fish there, I've caught a few, I've spooked a few, I let a few go. Therefore, I've just come over to this yellow pylon now. Haven't dropped the jig on it yet, so we'll see how we travel there. And of course, the fish will just be stacked up again. I know they are because they're on the sounder. Let's hope for another bite. So sensitive these, you've got to make sure if that happens and your hook is fouled up against your line, unhook it and make sure that they're all hanging freely And if they don't, you're going to get a foul jig and it won't work. Good way to know the vibe's on the deck. Slack line. Look at that. That slack line going from the tip and just laying on top of the water. Well, clearly it's not taking out any more water at all, any more line I should say. Therefore, we're down on the bottom. Just lift it off. Whatever's down there is hungry. It's just had another smack. As soon as I lifted it off the deck, bang, straight on. Dropping back down again. You know when your lure's working, it's got like a sort of a noise. That's the vibration. That's why they call it a vibe. Yep. No. Oh, yep. He's only small. Little tailor. That's what I was saying earlier, is that with the hooks, they tend to get into the fish's mouth, but the tail stays out. Therefore, you're not losing the tail. So that's a really good description of not getting your soft plastic bit off in half because the tail has taken the whole thing. Look, if it's a big fish, yeah, it's going to grab over the leader and probably bite you off, but that's just bad luck. Want these hooks back, mate? I'll get these hooks out and put him back. Well, this one feels a bit more solid-like. Just sat on the end of it. It's staying down a bit deeper, this one. Oh, it's just another trevally that's been jagged in the side of the gob. Just waiting to grab it as it slips past. Again, nothing too big, but it doesn't matter. It's a fish, and more importantly, it's giving you guys a technique of how to catch them on a vibe. So talk about a holiday playground. We're catching fish on the pylons. You've got a parasailer behind us going off. You've got jet skis over there, seaplanes over here, SeaWorld helicopters going up the sky, but you're still catching fish. Now, if I can show you that you can catch fish in an area as busy as this, the highest amount of registered boats per capita in the southern hemisphere here in southeast Queensland, you can do it in your backyard where you have pylons as well. If I can do it, why can't you? Give it a crack. You never know what you're going to catch. Now have a look at this. This is highly unusual. This is a baby, looks like a juvenile red emperor or something that's in the Broadwater. Just goes to show that these warmer currents in the tropics are coming down. Quite a fascinating little catch. Such a variety of fish. Bit of trivia with a flounder is that the two eyes are on the side of their head, right? When they're born, this one here, this old mate comes around to this side, and then as they get older, it slips around the top of his head and ends up over here. So you end up getting two eyes on the one side. Quite a fascinating fish. There we go, nice fish. Another lovely tail. He's been hooked up beside the actual gills there, but I'll tell you what, a lot of fun. Using the vibes around these pylons, wherever you are in your neck of the woods, give it a crack, have a lot of fun at the same time. And I'll tell you what, make sure you go stealth, otherwise the noise will scare the fish. And of course, work those tidal changes, and that's when you'll find they'll come up and have a chew. Here's a few tips to get you underway the next time you vibe fishing around the pylons.
Now, when I vibe the pylons, I like to use a lightweight 2 to 4 kilo spin stick. The braid, 8 pound, 10 pound fluorocarbon leader. The vibe size, well, it should be suiting the bait fish found in the area. Work the current side of the pylons. The fish will sit in the lead. And set your drag before casting. Good luck. And of course, thanks for watching Step Outside YouTube channel for lots of cooking and fishing action. Like, subscribe, and of course, comment for more catches like this and cooking recipes.